I guess now I'm actually doing new things that would be interesting, so I'll try to focus on that. We can't... His head's not vulnerable. Eyes don't seem to be. Not even the middle part with like the exposed... Oh, no, now he's stepping my bullets. Okay, that's... Fortunately, the hit detection is really working in my favor here. However, I don't know if these are randomized spikes. They may not be randomized, but they're at least not always typical. Well, that first form is easy if you can jam the button. I hope I beat him this time just so we don't have to watch this intro animation repeatedly. I've always wondered, does that annoy other people? It's a fairly minor thing, but you know, this takes 10-12 seconds, and it's not significant, but video games are a different form of a medium, and it's like to be repeating that content when it really adds nothing. I at least find it frustrating, even in small amounts. More about the principle of the thing than the idea that it's actually... I'm not sure that would have hit me at all, but... Oh. That's my bad. I was hoping if I was further away from the top of the screen I could dodge the spikes better, but clearly I also have to avoid his fist. Those are well timed at least though, so you have to manage both concerns of getting down and avoiding his fist, so you can't do it at the time that's easiest. I don't know whether or not this is the last boss of the game. I mean, it might be. There were four unknown trophies, or achievements, or medals, or whatever Newgrounds calls them. And I've already gotten 3, so if I got another one for this guy, that would be all the unknown ones. Well, that's interesting. You'll notice that my, so far the spikes have followed a pattern with everyone, but I don't know if it'll be a... You'll notice that my bullets are not going nearly as fast as they were before. I hope that's not seriously meaning I'm doing less damage, and I hope it's some kind of visual error. Okay, and we are back. I apologize about that. The short version is that the game has some kind of glitch in it that severely limits your rate of fire, which means that his first form can't be defeated really quickly like this, and the second form then becomes sort of tedious because you can only hit him at, I don't know, maybe a tenth of the normal rate. So you'll notice that I skipped some video because in the process of figuring that out I had to refresh the page before the bug would be fixed, and that resulted in some footage that's even worse than what we already have. So you've lost some time and some deaths, but nothing significant happened in that time, I assure you. Now hopefully I'll beat him in one try here, so we don't have to do this too much, because as wasn't necessarily obvious before, he actually only has 2 patterns. Smashing with the spikes there, and the spikes only have like 2 or 3 ways they can fall, and then the punch. So it's like this really gets a little bit tedious after a little while. You know, I don't even bother trying to go to the bottom to dodge the spikes because the hit detection just makes it kind of pointless. Go. Now hopefully that'll be the last. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's the ending. I always think it's ironic in the literary sense when game designers end things with talking about addiction or saying, you know, in this case, go out and get some fresh air, you must not have a life, simply because the amount of effort that it takes to design, code, animate, and develop a game is going to be vastly more than any given person spends on the game. And in the case of a Flash game like this, it could potentially be more than everyone spends on the game. That's probably not true. It's probably just more comparable. I mean, presumably they wanted to play they wanted to make the game, they would have developed a lot of skills that could be useful to them later. Presumably made a game for people. I mean, I enjoyed mostly the time that I spent on it. And on the other hand, though, it's hardly inexplicable. The reason that someone would do that, the conceit is fairly obvious. I'm going to let the video keep running here. I assume if anyone's bothering to watch this, it's because they want to just see what the game is like. And so we'll see if there's anything. I mean, the credits have these messages here that I've been reading, and we can always hope there'll be something at the end. Pyramid Head again. And in case you're wondering, you can't actually press R to try again. It actually is just a set game over screen, unlike the end of I Want to Be the Guy, where you really can die during the ending credits. So that appears to be the entire game, unless there's bonus rooms or any other content that I don't know about. In any case, that's my first run through. I mean, I enjoyed the game overall. I mean, I was looking for a challenge game, and that's basically what I got. I wish that a lot of things would have been more precise. Some of the parts weren't really so much challenging as they were simply poorly made, and it's always difficult to be struggling against that instead of struggling against a well thought out design that the game developer made. Like I said, this was an interesting experiment. I probably wouldn't do it again.